The bustling city cafe was alive with the hum of conversations and the clinking of coffee cups. Sarah Bennett, a poised woman in her early 30s with sharp eyes and a confident smile, sat across from her best friend, Emily Carter, who was scrolling through her phone. The late afternoon sun streamed through the large windows, casting a warm glow over the polished wooden tables. Emily's face suddenly paled, her fingers freezing on the screen. "Sarah, look," Emily whispered, her voice trembling as she tilted her phone toward her friend. Across the cafe, partially obscured by a decorative plant, sat Emily's husband, Mark Carter, a handsome man in his late 30s with a charming smile that now seemed deceitful. He was leaning close to a young woman, their hands brushing as they laughed over a shared dessert. "That's Mark with someone else." Sarah's gaze followed Emily's, her expression calm but her mind racing. She recognized the woman, a junior employee from Mark's marketing firm, Clara Evans, known for her ambition and flirtatious demeanor. Sarah placed a reassuring hand on Emily's arm. "Breathe, Em. Don't make a scene." Emily's eyes welled up, her voice rising. "A scene? Sarah, he's cheating on me right here in public with no shame. I'm done. I'm divorcing him today." Sarah leaned forward, her tone steady but firm. "Hold on. Don't rush into anything. Divorcing him now would only make him happy. He'd be free to marry her. Cheating is common, Em. Look at my husband, James. He's been unfaithful for over a year, tangled up with multiple women. Does that mean I should divorce him? No, if a man cheats, it's because he's bored, not because you're lacking. You need to be smarter than that." Emily stared, incredulous. "James is cheating on you and you're so calm. I remember how he chased you for 3 years, showering you with flowers, poetry, everything. How can you just sit there?" Sarah's lips curved into a wry smile. "Before marriage, they treat you like a queen. After, you're just a servant. But don't worry, James has no idea who he's dealing with. I'm not some fragile wife who'll cry and give up. I'm Sarah Bennett, and I'll make him see stars in broad daylight." The Bennett household was quiet, save for the soft hum of the air conditioner. Sarah, then heavily pregnant, sat on the couch, her hands resting on her swollen belly. The clock ticked past 8 p.m. and James still wasn't home. When the door finally creaked open, James strode in, loosening his tie, his face etched with exhaustion. "I'm starving," he announced, tossing his briefcase onto the chair. "Where's dinner?" Sarah looked up, her patience thin. "I didn't cook. I'm not your maid, James." His eyes narrowed, a flash of irritation crossing his face. "You're my wife, Sarah. I slave away at the office all day for you and you can't even make dinner. What's your problem?" Sarah stood, her voice sharp. "My problem? You ate out all the time before we married. Do it now." "I'm not here to cater to you," James scoffed, stepping closer. "Cooking is a wife's duty. If I asked another woman to cook for me, how would you feel? Imagine me going to some colleague's place for a home-cooked meal. You'd hate it." Sarah's heart stung, but she masked it with a cool stare. In her mind, she replayed the early days of their courtship, James's grand gestures, the late-night calls promising forever. Now she was reduced to a housekeeper in his eyes. "Before marriage, I was your princess," she thought bitterly. "Now I'm just a nanny." Months later, during her delivery, James's indifference reached a new low. At the hospital, Sarah gripped the bedrails, pain coursing through her as contractions hit. Other husbands in the ward held their wives' hands, whispering encouragement, but James stood by the window, scrolling through his phone. "James, I need you," Sarah gasped, tears streaming down her face. He glanced over, annoyed. "This is natural, Sarah. Stop crying. You're not birthing an elephant. Every woman goes through this." "I'm in pain," she pleaded. "Just stay with me." "I'm here, aren't I?" he snapped. "What more do you want? Go wash your face. You look a mess." When Sarah, trembling, explained the doctor's orders to stay put, James threw up his hands. "I can't deal with this drama. I'm going home. I'll send my mom." He stormed out, leaving Sarah alone, surrounded by strangers' compassion. As nurses tended to her, she vowed, "Once I'm back on my feet, you'll regret this, James." Back in the present, Sarah sat with Emily at the cafe, her friend's shock morphing into confusion. "You knew James was cheating and did nothing. How do you stay so strong?" Sarah sipped her coffee, her eyes glinting with resolve. "Strength comes from knowing your worth, Em. James played the perfect fiancé to win me over. But once I was his wife, he thought he owned me. I wasn't surprised when I caught him cheating. My intuition had been screaming for months." Flashback. The first clue a year ago, Sarah had noticed James's odd behavior. One evening, as he showered, she checked his phone for a delivery update. A notification popped up, a message from an unsaved number with a heart emoji. Opening it, she saw flirty texts from Clara, his employee. Her stomach churned, but she memorized the number before James emerged, acting oblivious. Later, he commented casually, "You look so short next to me, Sarah. Maybe wear heels, you'd look better." The words cut deep. She wasn't short, he was comparing her to someone else. He thinks I'm clueless, she thought, but silence doesn't mean stupidity. Sarah moved into a new apartment to gain perspective, only to discover Clara lived next door. The landlord mentioned, "A young woman lives there alone. A man visits her sometimes, but the security's tight. You're safe." Sarah's suspicions were confirmed when she spotted Clara with James through her doorbell camera, their passionate kiss captured in high definition. She downloaded the video, her hands steady despite her racing heart. Sharing the footage with Emily, Sarah said, "Crying won't fix this. Decide what matters more, emotions or security. Financial problems outweigh heartbreak. Always gather evidence, photos, videos for court. That's your power." Emily, inspired, began documenting Mark's infidelity, snapping photos of him with Clara at a park. Sarah, meanwhile, tailed James, capturing images of him and Clara at a restaurant. Clara's friend joined them, joking, "You two should just get married. Who cares about his wife?" Sarah, hidden behind a menu, recorded every word Sarah met with her lawyer, Miss Rachel Hayes, in a sleek downtown office. Rachel reviewed the photos and videos, nodding approvingly. "This is airtight, Sarah. You've got him cornered. When do you plan to file for divorce?" Sarah leaned back, her expression calculated. "Not yet. I want to hit him where it hurts, his wallet. He needs to lose everything first." Rachel raised an eyebrow. "That's a bold move. Most women would settle for a quick divorce." "I'm not most women," Sarah replied. "James humiliated me. I'll make sure he pays." Back at Emily's house, Sarah coached her friend. "Mark will beg forgiveness when you confront him, but don't fall for it. Get him to sign an agreement, compensation for his betrayal and permission to work. Men think women belong at home, but independence is your leverage." Emily recalled her exhausting days as a housewife, managing their toddler, Qley, while Mark dismissed her efforts. Once needing money for Qley's school supplies, she asked Mark, who scoffed, "I gave you $400 last month. What do you do with it? You're not my nanny, you're my wife. This is your job." Now armed with Sarah's advice, Emily confronted Mark with photos of him and Clara. He fell to his knees, pleading, "It was a mistake, Em, you're my everything." "Forgive me," Emily prepared, slid an agreement across the table. "Sign this or I'm done." Mark hesitated, but Emily's resolve was unshakable. "You think I'm helpless. Sign it or I walk." Reluctantly, he signed, granting her financial compensation and permission to work. Emily felt a surge of victory, her confidence growing. Sarah, meanwhile, played the long game. At James's birthday party, hosted at a lavish venue, she arrived late, stunning in a crimson dress. James, surrounded by friends, tensed as she approached, expecting a confrontation. Instead, she handed him a gift, a sleek watch, smiling sweetly. "Happy birthday, darling," James stammered. "I didn't think you'd come. After last night's argument." Sarah hugged him, whispering in her mind, "Enjoy this while it lasts." Their friends whispered about their rocky marriage, but Sarah's composure silenced them. She was biding her time. On their third anniversary, James surprised Sarah with flowers, a rare gesture. She knew why. He'd learned his assets were at risk. Clara, meanwhile, was unraveling. At a café, she confronted James. "You promised to marry me. Why are you back with her?" James pushed her away, hissing, "My wife's coming. Stay away or we're done." Sarah, watching from a distance, thought, "Men are so predictable. When their money's at stake, they'll ditch anyone." Sarah orchestrated her final move. Through a private investigator, she ensured Clara's family pressured her into an arranged marriage, leaving James devastated. At a marriage bureau, James watched Clara with another man, his face crumpling. Sarah approached, feigning innocence. "What a lovely day for new beginnings, don't you think?" James turned, furious. "You did this, didn't you?" Sarah smiled. "What's wrong with uniting hearts?" Months earlier, Clara had sent Sarah a selfie with a sleeping James, taunting, "He's happier with me. Why don't you leave?" Sarah used the photo to fuel her plan, leaking it to Clara's conservative family, who swiftly arranged her marriage to save her reputation. Emily, now thriving as a jewelry designer, thanked Sarah. "You changed my life. I'm independent now, and Mark's cheating was the push I needed." Sarah revealed James's latest betrayal, but Emily was unfazed. "I'm ready. I've got my evidence and my career. Divorce is just a step now." Emily confronted Mark with fresh evidence, a video of him with another woman. "Sign the divorce papers or lose everything," she said, citing the agreement. Mark, cornered, tore up a copy, but Emily smirked. "That's a photocopy, the original's with my lawyer." His company was collapsing, clients fleeing due to the scandal. Emily walked away, triumphant. Sarah's plan culminated at a board meeting where James's firm faced ruin. Leaked photos of his affair tanked his reputation, and investors pulled out. At home, Sarah presented her evidence. "Divorce is coming, James. You'll leave with nothing." James, defeated, pleaded, but Sarah was unmoved. "You thought I was weak, now you know better." Sarah and Emily stood on Emily's balcony, overlooking the city's skyline. Emily, radiant in a tailored blazer, said, "I never thought I'd feel this free. Thank you, Sarah." Sarah smiled, her eyes bright. "We're not toys for disloyal men to play with. We're unstoppable." As they clinked glasses, the city sparkled below, a testament to their resilience. Sarah had dismantled James's world, and Emily had rebuilt hers. Together, they proved that betrayal could spark not just pain, but power.